And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division. After 4 games played, they have a record of 0-4. They have 0 points, and they currently find themselves 8 points out of first place in the Central Division behind the Dallas Stars. The Utah Hockey Club has 7 points and is in 2nd place. Winnipeg has 6. Minnesota has 6. St. Louis has 6. Then you'll find the Chicago Blackhawks with 3 points in 6th place. The Predators in 7th, and the only reason the Preds aren't in last place in Central Division is because the Colorado Avalanche also have 0 points on the season, but have given up a whole lot more goals than the Nashville Predators at this point. Now, for the Predators, they have a home record of 0-3. That's where their next game will take place. They've scored 8 goals in the season. They've given up 18. That's a goal differential of -10 overall so far through 4 games. For the Predators, once they wrap up this next game against the Red Wings, which will also wrap up the season series against the Wings. Tuesday, they'll face off against the Boston Bruins to wrap up the homestand. Friday in Chicago, Saturday back home against the Columbus Blue Jackets, on the 28th at Tampa Bay, and on the 31st of October versus the Edmonton Oilers again. So the Nashville Predators will face their first back-to-back scenario coming up next Friday and Saturday with Chicago and Columbus. Now the Detroit Red Wings are the next opponent for the Nashville Predators, Saturday afternoon game at Bridgestone Arena. Already the second of 2 meetings this season, so the Preds and the Wings wrapping up the season series. We'll go back to October the 12th when the Predators fell in Detroit 3-0. Saros got the start, took the loss, 19 out of 21 overall. Talbot, 42 out of 42, gets the shutout, picks up the victory. Comfer, Kopp, and Larkin picking up the goals for the Detroit Red Wings. Now, I mentioned the Wings, so let's talk about them and how their season's going over in the Eastern Conference. They're 1-3 overall on the season. They have 2 points. They are 8th in the Atlantic Division. On the road, a record of 0-1. They've scored 9 goals. They've given up 15 goals against. That's a goal differential of -6. Their games played so far: on the 10th of October was their season debut, 6-3 loss versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the 12th of October, a 3-0 win versus the Nashville Predators. On the 14th of October, a 4-1 loss at the New York Rangers in Madison Square Garden. And most recently on the 17th, a 5-2 loss, this time at home versus the New York Rangers. Talbot got the start, went 14-19, took the loss, got pulled. Alex Lyon comes in and does a nice job in relief, so we'll see how that affects the starting goaltender for the next game. But I would imagine, since Talbot had a 42-save shutout against the Preds just last week, and it's the only win of the season, Talbot's probably going to get that opportunity at Bridgestone Arena. The NHL ranks and the numbers between these two teams, well, it's not where you want it to be for the Nashville Predators. Goals for on the season so far is at 2. That is 31st overall in the NHL for the Detroit Red Wings. Goals for 2.25 is 29th best in the NHL. The goals against category, the Preds are giving up 4.5 per game. That's 31st in the league. The Detroit Red Wings are giving up 3.75 per game. That's 24th overall in the NHL. And shots for, Predators are quite doing good in this metric. 34.5 per game is best overall in the NHL, rated first. The Wings are generating 29.3 shots on net per game. That's 16th best in the NHL. In the shots against category, the Preds now have fallen a little bit in this metric, now giving up 28.3 per game. That's 12th rated in the NHL, while the Wings are giving up 33 per game. That's 30th rated in the NHL. In the special teams, the Preds power play, 14.3%, has jumped up a couple of notches to 23rd, now 2 out of 14 on the season. The power play for the Wings is converting at 12.5%. That's 24th overall in the NHL, 2 out of 16. In the penalty kill situation, Predators doing quite well, actually. 91.7% kill rate is 5th best in the league. They've only given up 1 power play goal against so far. The Wings are killing off 64.3%. That's 30th rated in the league. They've given up 5 power play goals against. When it comes to every team in the NHL, loaded with individual talent, so we like to give you the top 5 in scoring for each team in the potential goaltending matchup. Let's start on the Predators side of things. Philip Forsberg has 2 goals and 2 assists for 4 points on the season, leading the way as he did much of last season. O'Reilly's got a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Marchessault has a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Roman Josi has no goals but 3 assists for 3 points, and Tommy Novak is tied for the team leading goals with 2. 0 assists to add to that, 2 total points. Over on the Detroit Red Wings side of things, individual statistics start with Raymond leading the way. No goals, but 4 assists for 4 total points. Comfer, one of the co-leaders in goals with 2, plus 1 assist for 3 points. Larkin also 2 and 1 for 3. DeBrincat also 2 and 1 for 3. Seider has 1 goal and 2 assists for 3 total points. UC Stars for the Nashville Bears on the season in net 0-3, 3.83 goals against average, and an 8.78 save percentage. Those numbers are not very good. UC Stars is historically a slow starter to begin the NHL season, but this is the entirety of the team being a slow starter. But his numbers certainly reflecting that slow start. Talbot has a record of 1-1, 3.31 goals against average, 9.07 save percentage, and again, head-to-head most recently, back on October the 12th, Saros took the loss, 19-21. Talbot got the victory, 42-42, and picked up the shutout. Preds Wings are going to close out the regular season series. The Preds failed to pick up a single point in Detroit. They'll get a split if they can win at Bridgestone Arena. It's being called a must-win game by some players in the locker room after what happened last night. Well, what happened last night? Let's take you back to it. It's Three Bear Sports Full Game Recap, and it's coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck Podcast.